Welcome to February Student News. I am your host Marco.
And I'm your host Brian.
In this student news, we will show you the winners of the recent talent show and an interview with the group called the Emergency Circus.
We will also have a political discussion with Mr. Moehlis and Sylvia.
So without further ado, let's check out our recent talent show and interview the winners for their outstanding talent.
So how'd you guys get together?
Last year we did me and Jennifer did the talent show together, and well, we thought we really harmonized really good. And this year we wanted to have an accompanist, and Lucio was a good musician, so we added him as well.
The next question is, how long do you guys know each other?
Well, me and Jennifer, we all met up in kindergarten, and then basically, and then Lucio, he moved out, and then we all reunited back in Lauffer.
So when did you guys first start singing?
I started singing when I was very little, but I started public singing when I was in elementary. I'm not really sure. I guess I can say it was since I was little, but I mean, no one really knew about it. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jose, and I'm here with
Jaslyn?
So we're going to ask her a couple questions on the talent show. How'd you feel when you placed in the talent show?
When I won the best vocalist in the talent show, I was happy because my tia that got me into singing was in the audience and she was really proud of me.
Why'd you choose the song that you sang?
I chose Mercy on Me by Christina Aguilera because every Saturday we would do karaoke at my tia's house, and she made me learn that song because she thought that I had the vocals for it.
What made you decide that you wanted to sing?
I wanted to sing because I was always one of the shy kids in elementary school during music, and so once my tia brought singing into my life, I ended up liking it.
Well, congratulations on winning Best Vocalist.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gio, and I'm here with
Isabella.
And today we're going to be asking you a few questions. Okay, so the first question that we have is, what award did you guys win?
We won best overall in the talent show.
How did you feel when you placed in the talent show?
I was really happy. The girls worked really hard, so we were really elated when they announced our names.
And how long did you guys practice for the talent show?
The music video came out, I think, October, and I think it was early October, and we started learning maybe at the end of October, and then to learn the dance to get the girls together took maybe 2 months.
And the last question is, why did you guys decide to get together?
We decided to get together because we all are into this one Korean boy band called BTS, which is the singers of the dance that we did, and we really love their dances, and so we wanted to kind of promote them and support them and show our love, and also kind of show something a little more culturally different.
And congratulations, and thank you for being here on the Lauffer Student News.
Congratulations to all the participants and winners of the Winter Talent Show. Back to the studio.
Next up, we'll check on a group that recently visited Lauffer.
They are known as the Emergency Circus, a group of clowns who travel all around the world to entertain children.
Taya and Noemi will interview these funny performers.
So let's get to it.
Hi, I'm Taya.
And I'm Noemi.
And we're here with
The Emergency Circus.
Whoa, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So what's your name?
My name is Robin Possible. How about you?
Clay Amazing.
What is Emergency Circus to begin with?
Great question, Taya. The Emergency Circus is a nonprofit organization that travels around to schools, hospitals, prisons, refugee centers, orphanages, anywhere where we find people who are a little under-circused. We help them out by bringing smiles, laughter, juggling, all kinds of different stuff, just to give them a little break from all the other stuff that they're thinking about in the day.
That's cool.
Is it hard to perform in front of everybody?
Yeah, in these situations, well, it's not hard to perform in front of people for us, but sometimes we go into difficult situations. But we often see a lot of joy in the situation. So if we go into a refugee camp where things are tough, it's a little bit hard to see that, but then our job is to kind of bring something different and shake up what is there and turn it into laughter and empathy and love.
What exactly empowered you guys to do this?
Well, when I go into these situations, I see these kids, they're sometimes a little skeptical at first, but oftentimes I have a red nose on, a silly costume. When they see that, and sometimes I have this leaf blower, and I go right and I blow air all over the kids, and it makes their hair go crazy, and they immediately start smiling and laughing. They're giving me hugs, and I see everything that's going on around them and how difficult it is for them. They're having really hard lives, some of these kids. And we come in, and for that day, they can kind of forget about all of that and just focus on playing with us. And I see how happy it makes them and how happy it makes me, and I just want to do it all the time.
That is nice. So just to expand on the Lauffer, what you did, can you just tell me a little more about what you did?
So in this presentation, we did a slideshow where we talked about the Emergency Circus, places we've gone, things that we do, and then we gave a little demonstration of some of the performances that we do in these situations. So I juggled knives on a unicycle while balancing a spinning plate in my mouth. And we did some pass juggling with clubs around some very terrified kids.
Yeah, and I taught a kid how to juggle in every class. So. Up, up. Up. Go. Up. Yay! That's a volley. We did it! Oh, I like doing this. I think that we have a good message about how people can do anything they want to do if they just focus on it and practice. And so when I get the opportunity to do that in front of kids like at Lauffer, then it makes me feel really good about what I'm doing, and it's good to inspire people the way I was inspired.
I also think that it's important that we're telling kids that this is happening. Oftentimes people don't think about people in these situations or what's happening for them or why it's happening. And so spreading this message that there are people out there who are in really difficult situations, and there are people like us who are trying to help just a little bit. I think it's great to spread that message.
Oh, also, I like to dispel the fear of clowns. Yes. And then that's very rampant in middle school areas. So when we show some actual clowns coming in and what we actually do, I think that's important too.
So what's your next event that you're doing?
Right now we're on a tour of the border that we're calling Bridge the Border, and we're going to orphanages and refugee camps for Haitian refugees all across Mexico, and we're going to both sides of the border to kind of to bridge that through joy.
Thank you for your amazing time, Robin Possible and Clay Amazing.
This was Taya and Naomi. Back at you.
Those two were hilarious.
Don't go away, Lauffer Middle School.
That's right. We will be back after this public service announcement. The troublemakers have been in the hallway as they enter the room.
Excuse me, sir. How are you such a great student at Lauffer?
Well, it's because I followed the 3 R's: being respectful, responsible, and reliable.
We're back, Lauffer, and now let's continue on with Mr. Moehlis and Sylvia.
That's right. They're here to discuss some recent events in our country.
Off to you, Sylvia.
Hello, Lauffer students. I'm Sylvia. I'm here with an 8th grade social studies teacher, Mr. Moehlis. How are you today, Mr. Moehlis?
I'm doing excellent, and I am very stoked to be here with you, Sylvia, and to be here with Lauffer Student News.
Today we're going to talk about a special topic a lot of people are discussing as of late, and that's politics. So, Mr. Moehlis, what are some things that journalists can do to inform the public about current politics?
Great question, Sylvia. Journalism in the United States is so cool because we have what's called the Bill of Rights. And the very first right that we are given as citizens in this country is the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. And we can share, we can write, we can talk, we can sing, we can draw. Anything we want, and as long as we're not hurting anybody or lying, we can inform the public. Journalists can say what they want. They can inform the public on things that are going on in current events, in politics, in entertainment, and it kind of separates us from other countries. We have that freedom, and keep taking advantage of it. It's a powerful one.
Recently in class, we have been studying how checks and balances work in the American Constitution. Can you review that process with our viewers?
Again, the American government is a really, really cool thing. And checks and balances simply means that no one part of the government gets to do whatever they want. Whether you're the president or the Supreme Court or a lawmaker, you can't get away with doing whatever you want because someone is always watching what you're up to. Checks and balances just means that if you start to do something that might be a little questionable, somebody else can say, stop doing that, start over, and do it right this time. And without that, we've seen other countries kind of have trouble with lawmaking and some presidents or leaders, and we don't typically have that problem because we can always check on other people. So we check so that everything is balanced. Checks and balances.
And how does that relate to actions such as executive orders or judicial reviews?
Yeah, that's been a hot topic lately, the executive orders and judicial reviews. An executive order is kind of like a law. It kind of skips the lawmaking process and just makes something happen. It's a tool that the president has that he can get things moving and without having to wait. They're kind of weak. They don't carry a lot of weight. They're easy to overturn, but it starts a process. So if a president thinks something is important, he can get it going. A judicial review is the Supreme Court's way of checks and balances. So if an executive order is too strong or doing something that might be not that acceptable by the public, the Supreme Court can step in and say, nope, we don't like that, start over. Again, checks and balances. Nobody gets to be too powerful.
So everything goes back to checks and balances. So that's like the main theme.
In this government, we were really scared of a leader becoming a king, and we didn't want to see it again. So we put in all of these little tools for other people in government to keep the ones trying to get too powerful from getting too powerful. You're absolutely right, Sylvia.
Also, the Electoral College has been getting a lot of attention recently. Can you explain what it is and how it elects a president?
The Electoral College. A democracy is kind of a scary thing because what if majority rules? What if 51 people vote to have 49 people get no food? Not a good thing. So the Electoral College balances things out. It makes presidential candidates, it forces presidential candidates to spend time with the little people, states that don't have a lot of population, because if big cities got everything they wanted, where all of the people live, they would control all of politics. So to keep big cities from running the show, the Electoral College says, you have to make sure to pay attention to other places as well. So sometimes, it's happened a few times, a president can be elected without getting the most votes. It's rare, but it's part of the system, and it works like that. It's rare, but it can happen.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moehlis, for your time. I hope our Lauffer students and staff learned something out of this interview. And remember, Lauffer, be aware of what's happening around you. This has been Sylvia with 8th grade social studies teacher, Mr. Moehlis, and back to the studio.
Thank you for watching Lauffer Middle School.
We'll be back soon with another student news.